Hi, I'm Sunny, and today's pick a card topic is going to be what is intimacy like with the person that you're thinking about. So, this isn't necessarily going to be super specific when it comes to more like physical stuff, uh, like 18+ tarot, but I'll try my best to kind of give you like a quick one, like a quick reading. So, I have 3 piles you guys can choose from left to right, 1, 2, and 3. You know the drill. If you need more time, pause the video and select the pile when you're ready. I will start with the first one. So pile number 1, you guys have the Page of Wands upright, followed by the Knight of Swords upright, and then your last card is the Ten of Cups reversed. Sorry. So for pile number 1, I think that this person you're thinking about has it's not that they necessarily have had bad experiences all the time, but that at least the most recent experiences when it comes to meeting a connection and having that intimacy with that person has had to do with the fact that they either have to do all the work in this connection, in the sense where they might have had to be doing all the talking, any communication had to be from their part, or if there was misunderstandings or just like not being on the same page, they had to be the one who had to like show the first steps, like, hey, let's talk about it, or let's not argue about this, or stuff like that, so that there can be an agreement or a clearment of that issue, the obstacle. And it's just them having to do a lot of the work, even if it wasn't always like them arguing and fighting. Even on the good times, it could be them having to reach out if they want to have a date, or them scheduling things because the other person's not the one who takes charge, or they're just not good. It's not necessarily that they had to be good with planning, but it's just they didn't take any initiative whatsoever, especially with this Page of Wands and Knight of Swords. It's like they wanted somebody who would be more, not gung-ho, but very much up to game when it came to doing things that needed to be done to have a good connection, and they just didn't. So them being stuck in this rut of like, oh, I have to basically do all the work is kind of frustrating for them. So that can be annoying. And then you also have to consider the fact that they wanted some passion in the connection and they might have lacked that. So truthfully, this person, in order for you to be intimate with this person, you have to establish good communication. That's very important. They don't like misinterpreting anything. They don't like leaving things up in the air, but they also want to have a good time and have light-hearted conversations, because they might have felt like the connections that they were interested in before with intimacy, they were very serious or very stuck up, maybe snobby, but maybe it's just they didn't quite mesh well with the person they're thinking about, or the person that, or the people that they've encountered themselves in the physical connection. So they would like to have a change of air. Like, they really do want this Ten of Cups, right? But they kind of struggle because they have to, one, feel confident in themselves. 2, once they feel confident in themselves, they can establish like a stable connection with anybody, anywhere. It doesn't really matter. So they really do see themselves, like, if they want to have a physical connection with somebody, they would have to consider the fact that they would like to have that connection, make it like a commitment. So it's like living together or sharing bills, for example, like your Netflix account or your car bills, or just paying stuff like that, right? So it can also be getting pets together, having children together, having a house together, an apartment. It just feels like they want the commitment, but they're going to struggle to get to that. But first comes first. It's like intimacy is important to them. And if you do establish a connection with them, I want to sneeze, I'm sorry. Don't sneeze. Sorry, my allergies are kicking in. So if you want to establish a connection with this person that you're thinking about, you have to put in the effort. You have to be passionate. You have to be someone that's probably doing half and half. It doesn't always have to be that they have to do, or you have to do all the work, but they would like for the other party to be more initiative, more, what's that word? Direct when it comes to their needs and wants. They would like every now and then to kind of just let loose of the reins and just kind of go with the flow. But yeah, they want someone that's like charming, someone that's good looking, and just that physical appearance is kind of big with them. So do keep that in mind. So, but they would like someone that's like easygoing, vivacious, charming, flirtatious possibly. And I also think overall this kind of energy is like someone that once they decide to, you know, bed you, for example, they do think it wouldn't take long for them to, you know, get going. I think a lot of things for them, it's like, what is it called? You know, foreplay for them is not an issue. They really enjoy that. They think it's pretty fun. They want to be enthusiastic about things and feel lively, but they also kind of want to know that the gratification they'll feel is more or less in the sense where they want to know that they're doing a good job, but not like I have to check up on you every single time I do something, but more so in the sense where if they know and feel they're kind of vibing right, and they feel they pick up on these things, energies around you, you know, visual cues and, you know, verbal cues, they might feel more comfortable feeling open to the idea that this connection can work, right? And they can feel comfortable and maybe establishing that commitment. But it is important for them to feel that they're having fun. Having fun is very important for them to feel that they can eventually settle down with somebody down the road. But in this time, maybe because they didn't have that with the previous people, that's why they might struggle. So do keep that in mind. That's more or less the intimacy part when it comes to you, pal number one. When it comes to the person you're thinking about, they would like to explore different connections or different positions, different locations. They are adventurous, they are forthcoming, but they expect that from their partner too. It's not just like I have to do everything. I don't want to do all the thinking and all the rationalizing and all the fun party and stuff. It feels like they would like for the other person to do the same. Surprise them. They really like that spontaneity, but not like super spontaneous. It's just more like they like to be, they don't have to feel like they have to have all the control. They're really not like that. So I hope you enjoyed that pile number one. So pile number two, you guys have the Four of Pentacles reversed, the Page of Swords upright, followed by the Fool upright. So intimacy with this person is more or less, I do think this person might have struggled with a previous connection when it comes to maybe having a very rigid connection, very rigid or structured lifestyle, that they didn't feel like they can really step out of line when it comes to being more fun, or it was just very, I don't want to say there's compromise because I feel like they might have struggled with that. I think there's obviously somebody who is more or less, I don't want to sneeze, sorry. sorry, I'm holding my nose. More or less, they could have felt that the other person or the connections that they had might have had more so the bigger say, what's that, the last word, right? So they might have struggled to feel comfortable in the commitment. It was very like dutiful. I don't think I'm saying that right. Dutiful, whatever. So, for example, they might have felt like there was just, I don't want to say that they felt suffocated, but it was very much like something that they had to work on, like stuff like that. So maybe they separated from a long-term commitment, or they're coming from like a previous marriage that just didn't work because of differences, right? So whatever that scenario may be is just uncomfortableness in that home area, in that space of what felt like it was supposed to be home didn't feel like home. So they didn't feel safe sharing intimacy with their partners, right? So that had to change. And in this moment, there's someone that's kind of struggling to kind of be, it's not necessarily they want to be messy and chaotic, but they're trying to try things differently. So being more lighthearted and spontaneous, it might touch a bit on the first pile, but I do think that this pile is more like, I feel free. It feels like freedom is important because, not that they have to be independent, but feeling like the shackles are off because they were committed to something that wasn't working for them, or just committed to somebody who isn't trying to be, I'm not going to say, try different things in the bedroom, for example. Even at that, it's like this person had to like, they just basically might have known like this person's moves, and or the people that they've, you know, slept with, like their moves, their kinks and stuff like that. So I'm trying not to say all these verbatim that's like tricky to use with like YouTube, because it's like adult words, but basically they really are trying to get out of this funk that felt stale. It felt not fun. It didn't feel fresh. And there's nothing wrong with, like, it's not to say that commitments can't, like, that are long term aren't fresh and fun, but it's the fact that they just had a hard time communicating with people or the person that they were, you know, intimate with. So that's why it's important for them. Something that's important for them when it comes to intimacy is feeling like they can walk into something that's new and fresh and adventurous and feel like they're having a good time, and feeling like they're kind of green and naive. It's just kind of, they want to feel like, not like a kid again, but like maybe because they missed out, for example, maybe because they missed out a lot with a lot of fun, adventurous things like hanging out with friends, getting wasted, going out whenever they wanted to please because they were with their partner, or because they were like in a committed relationship, or maybe even work, for example. They were committed to work. They had to skip out on that in their 20s and 30s. So now that they're having more time for that and freeing themselves and trying to do different things because they want to open themselves up to that vulnerability, it's tricky, it's weird, it's not comfortable, but they're enjoying themselves. They're baby stepping that like dating pool. They're stepping into this this area where they feel like they can play around and feel goofy. They want to have this tongue-in-cheek conversation. They want to have like dirty joke conversations, right? Like kind of like wink wink. Oh, that was double meaning. Yeah, I get it. Haha. Kind of thing. So they do seem like they want to be feeling like, I want to keep thinking of Frank Sinatra. It's like, you make me feel so young. Yeah, I that's the feeling I'm getting is that they want to feel fresh. They want to feel rejuvenated. There you go. They want to feel rejuvenated. They want to feel like they want to make up for the time that was lost. And that means having to get to know themselves pretty deeply in social aspects. I feel like a lot of it has to do with them putting themselves out there. Intimacy for them is kind of difficult in that aspect of they're doing their best, but they'll get the hang of it. So you should know that this person's not that great probably in having fun. Having fun is like one of those things that they're working on because it was not available for them, right? So they could be having fun and like getting to know what it's like to go out on a movie and, you know, just chill or just watching like stuff at home, being lazy, or going out for drinks, going out for a coffee shop, dates, sorry, or like going to a music venue, or even hanging out at the park, walking the dogs. Like making leisure time is something that they're kind of experiencing, but I think it's more so themselves like being more comfortable, maybe falling under certain influences like drinking a few cocktails and alcohol drinks and stuff like that to loosen up, or even having a few smokes, if you get what I'm saying, to basically inhibit that mind of like, oh, like I'm just very controlling and I just want to let loose. And like once they're comfortable and like chill in this like atmosphere where they get to party, then their true fun nature comes out, because that was once part of them, but they kind of separated it and compartmentalized it because it wasn't helpful to them, because they had to kind of work, right? They kind of had to do their own things. They had duties to uphold. So that's more or less intimacy for them. If you're interested, there's someone that can commit, but I feel they're trying to have more fun. They're trying to get to know themselves, and they basically want to marry that fun side with that like boring side, to basically put it simply. So you're gonna have to be adventurous with them and just kind of have fun with them. But yeah, they do want to explore a lot of things, and that also means the sexuality part, right? You get what I'm trying to say? So I hope you enjoy that. But yeah, for them, communication is kind of key to kind of get them started, because they want to get to know you. So if you know how to be flirtatious and stuff, or like you know how to kind of work them to like basically like want to like bicker with you. It's like a flirtatious talk of like bickering, and not necessarily argumentative, but like maybe sort of like that. Then they will see themselves like opening themselves up to you, right? So I hope you do enjoy that, pile number 2. Next, I have pile number 3. you guys have the Ace of Swords reversed, Two of Wands upright, followed by the World reversed. So intimacy for this person that you're thinking about, let me just take a sip of water. Okay, so pile number 3, it's important for them to feel like they have the freedom and independence to kind of come and go. This does not mean that they want to be like, how can I say this? Loosey-goosey all the time with people. But it's just so that maybe because they felt very restricted with partners before, that they felt like they needed to control them. That's why it's important. Or maybe the partner didn't feel like going out as much. Maybe the partner was just very much like a homebody. They felt like they couldn't really be like as adventurous as they could like to be. No, as they wish to be, because that's in their nature. It's just that maybe natures were complementary, but after a while it was very like daunting on them, because it's like, oh, you just never want to get out of the house. You never want to do this. You don't even want to go like out here. It's like, no, we can stay home, or we can do this. So it can be like that. It doesn't always have to be like toxic scenarios, but them feeling like they could suggest so many things, and the partner or the people that they would date were just like, meh. They were very like, I don't want to say mellow, but it's more so like, this is a terrible term because I don't really like this term. I think it's dumb, but like beige moms, where it's like beige people. It's like, oh, they're so plain. I don't want to say it's vanilla, but it's like they're very plain. So they're interested in people who could be very colorful, or just show them around or have a good time. It's just they want to learn and expand themselves with this World card, but they're like, oh, I just can't. It's not constricted. It just feels like they knew and learned what they had to learn with them and around one person maybe, but they just didn't feel like they could be adventurous. They wanted to know around. They wanted to explore people and, date around, or even just go out to random cities with them and travel, but it was like the person that they were with and the people that were with would just make it very difficult for them. And even with this Two of Wands, it feels like they just always had to keep it felt like they're the kind of person who would keep looking around the window and just like just watch the world outside go around. Or they watch people like on social media, and they see how much fun they're having, and they're kind of just like wallowing in their pity because they can't do the same, because they're stuck around home. So it felt like maybe the person they were with or the people that were with them dimmed their light, or just maybe not purposely all the time, but sometimes it's just because you're trying to play nice. Maybe sometimes like this person, they could feel like, oh, well, they're being nice about it, so I have to be nice about it too. Like I'm kind of like, what's it called? Conforming, I think it's the right word, to the ideals that this other person or the other partners are kind of giving me, because that's what they want. They've been nice to me, so I'm just gonna stick around. But at some point, it became kind of like daunting on them. So I do feel that their desire, especially with this Ace of Swords, was restricted because of this. It's like now the things they're after has a lot to do with the fact that they need to feel like they can have the freedom to do what they want, when they want, how they want. That doesn't mean they have to be with a lot of people. It could be just one person. But I do feel that they need to feel like they have that freedom control, right? You're not going to shackle them. They're not going to be shackled because they're going to feel restricted. Maybe they just want to date around, have fun, just do their thing and just explore and have fun with their friends, and then come back and then maybe hanging out with, the person they want to date, like, or maybe just the person they want to see around just for some fun hanky-panky, So it could be like that. So this person feels like they might have to restrict themselves a little bit with their legal desire, but if you're interested in finding out, like, if you accommodate yourself to this person, I do feel that they would like to feel needed and wanted and desired by people, or by you, or just in general, by providing the confidence that they need to feel. So, like, example, doesn't mean like you have it costs like I'm not making I'm not making any sense. Sorry. Okay, so example, maybe they feel confident if you tell them they look nice because they're wearing like X shirt or X dress or X shoes, and like their makeup is done, their hair is done, their beard is trimmed, and stuff like that. They enjoy hearing the compliments, not that they're fishing for them, but they enjoy that they're being appreciated and like appreciated because of their efforts. It doesn't have to be by their beauty, but just efforts that they're doing. So they appreciate that. They want to feel like they're looking good, they're looking like a good fire sign, even though it's like the swords, it's air sign, but they want to feel like they're up for some good games, and that's gonna stir up that like the naughty feelings in them, right? So that's just basically what this feels like. So if you provide them that that fiery energy with it just feels like they want, it's like a lot of fire and air here. So if you have these qualities, great, but that's what they're looking for. They want to feel like you can roll with the punches. You're not going to take them too seriously if they tell you off or something, because they're not maliciously mean. They're just very blunt, for example, or very direct, and that can be sometimes an issue for people, because sometimes people can be sensitive. That's not a bad thing. But again, they're very direct. They want things done. So if they want to be with you in that way, physical way, you're going to have to be okay with that. You're going to have to be okay with the fact that they're maybe at this point not available to be monogamous, okay? So it can be like that, or they just want to be doing activities that are going to be fun that eventually lead to, you know, having sex with them. Like, I don't know, I always think of people like going out to dinners and stuff and then hanging out at the bars and then finally going home and, you know, doing your thing. It could be like that. But yeah, communication is key, and I think a lot of these have these issues of like communication, just letting them know that you're interested, and they might be down, but they need to know that they have freedom to explore and be adventurous. Maybe even get to know you in a different way than if they do know you, they might want to know you in a different way. Like, how can I say? I know, like, I'm not trying to say certain words, but how can I get around this? They're trying to know what you can do. Like, it's like, what did that amount? What is it? How does that saying go? I can't say it. I'm talking so fast. I feel like this person's kind of like quick and go, like, do your thing. Like, I got other stuff to do. It feels like this person like wants to say like what that mouth do, basically. So yeah, I do think how can I say? I want to say certain things, but I'm like, how can I say these a little bit more politely? Going down on people, on them, just that it's something that they're like into. I think they're really into possibly like play toys. But that doesn't necessarily mean they'll bring them out the first time. I just think that they're someone that has the stamina and probably hides it. They don't look like they can have the stamina, but they very much do have the stamina. Even when they already party and go hard, like the entire time you're with them, you're like, oh, you still have time. Like, you still have time and effort for this. Like, okay. So yeah, I do think this person has the stamina, has the passion and the drive, but it's just a matter of them feeling comfortable with you, not trying to control them or like restrict them by feeling free or judgmental. They don't want to be judged. There you go. That's a better, yeah, I think that's the vibe overall. Like, they don't want to feel judged too much in this pile because of their past, their present, and their future. It's like their actions are their own business, not anybody else's, and that's important for them. So if you're okay with that, go for it. I don't think this person has an issue, and they're likely not going to judge you either for your own past, because it's a two-person thing. It's a one-way from your perspective and a one-way from their perspective. So do keep that in mind, that they're not someone that's going to judge you harshly if you have a tumultuous past in that way of your own personal life, if you get what I'm trying to say. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Very different reading from what I'm used to, but I'm enjoying these because sometimes they're kind of fun to get around with certain words. Trying to be smart here. So thank y'all for listening, and I will hope that you guys watch another video or subscribe. It helps me out with my channel, and thank y'all to my subscribers. I enjoy your presence and your views. and your comments too. So have a great day, everybody, and I'll see you soon. So bye.